Hello, boys and girls and parents. This is Pastor Sam with another Bible hero. Now, I bet that you will never guess who our Bible hero is today. We've talked about Matthew and Mark and Luke, and today we talk about John. John is the fourth person to write a book about Jesus, a book about what Jesus said and did. We call that a gospel. A gospel. Now, we know a few things about John because part of John's book tells us about him. John was one of Jesus' disciples. That means he was one of the people who went around with Jesus and he saw the things that Jesus did and he heard the things that Jesus said. And John is writing, this is me writing his book to tell us those things that Jesus said and did. Now, the way that John writes his book is kind of strange. The other books start when Jesus was little, except for Mark, starts when Jesus is all grown up, and they kind of go in chronological order. That was a big word, a big word. Chronological. That means the order that things happen. So think about your day. You wake up, you brush your teeth, you get dressed, you have breakfast, you play, you eat lunch, you play, you have dinner, you play, and you go to bed. That is chronological order. That's the order that things happen throughout the day. But John does it differently. John is doing it differently. John is looking at things that Jesus said and then investigating those things. So Jesus says, I am the light of the world. And John says, oh, I want to put all the things where Jesus talks about light together. And we're going to find out, what does that mean that Jesus is the light of the world? Or when he says, I am the bread from heaven. That's a very strange thing for someone to say, that they are bread from heaven. And John puts those together so that we can find out, what does Jesus mean that he's bread from heaven? That's a very strange thing for him to say. So John isn't looking at things in the order they happen, but he's taking these things that Jesus said, like I am light, I am the bread from heaven, and he's telling us what Jesus means by those things. So John gives us a very important book about Jesus, and John was there for all of the really good part. Well, Jesus has no bad parts in his life, but John was there for even the most important parts, and he gives us a very good look at what Jesus did. He saw those things and said he heard those things. So we are going to pray. We're going to pray, and we're going to thank God for the strange things Jesus said and for John, who helps us understand those things. So you fold your hands and you pray with me. Dear God, thank you for Jesus and all the strange things that he said. Thank you for John to help us understand those strange things. Amen. Thank you, boys and girls, for coming and for hearing my children's message about John. We had Matthew and Mark and Luke and John. John was the fourth person to write a gospel, a book about Jesus. Now, I will see you later, and I have so many Bible hero cards to give you. You come and pester me for some cards. I'll see you later.